Okay. So testing, testing, testing. Man, it's crazy. Can't even find myself on the damn channel. My own channel. Wait, it's a private video. How do I have a viewer? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so gonna start this thing out. I guess introduce myself. My name's Jarvis, uh, better known, I guess, complex theory, um, whatever you want to call it. Decided to start the channel. I guess I noticed there was a bit of a space, this manosphere space, I guess, has been kind of coming to the light, to the mainstream and stuff like that. So, I just thought that, why not add to the conversation? I have these type of conversations with my friends all the time, just trying to grow and learn and become, better men and stuff like that. I guess a little bit about myself. I am an Android developer. I also make beats. I rap, and yeah, amongst other things, write. Try to be active in the community as much as possible. But yeah, other than that, I guess just deep thinker, and avid listener, advocator, I guess, for truth and knowledge and things of that nature. Oh, what the hell? Technical difficulty. Yep, that's why we're trying to work out the stream. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Y'all are gonna have to forgive me. This is my first time doing this. I'm gonna attempt to check out the audio. My first time doing this. Yep, audio sounds good. Okay. So yeah, as you guys can see, I've put a lot of effort into the production, trying to take this thing serious. I felt that that would, I guess, I don't know, for me personally, I think that just makes it a little bit easier to do things, I guess, to get in that mode and stuff like that. But as far as the podcast, basically I just want to, just have dope discussions as much as possible. I guess use it as a sounding board for myself and a lot of the things and issues, I guess, that I go through on a daily basis and things that I see, kind of, from my perspective and stuff like that, and just, want to, I guess, foster some dope conversations, I guess. For the most part, I guess, to go along with the theme of what I started, or what I named the title, with expectations, I guess, and pressure. So, again, a little bit about myself. I went to college for 2.5 years, studying Android, or not Android development, but computer science in general. And in that, they didn't really have a direct Android track, I guess. So, my buddy Dre, maybe you guys will get to meet him one day, but he was, already out, I guess, in the field, taking interviews and stuff like that. And he convinced me, basically, because I was learning Java at the time, and basically he convinced me to kind of shift my focus, from just being in school, I guess, and trying to acquire that knowledge to, gaining more real world knowledge and experience. And I say that to say because as a man, as you're growing, it's not enough, I guess, to just philosophize or hypothesize about these things. It's great to kind of think, broadly and abstractly about them, but to get to the point where you're actually putting that stuff into practice, I think you want to kind of do that more often. That was the biggest lesson that I learned, is that practical application is a lot more beneficial than just doing the hypothetical thought process of it. And so gaining that knowledge, I kind of basically dropped out of college my senior year, and just took a bet on myself, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna give myself 6 months and see what happens. Worst case scenario, I have to suck it up, go back to school, and that'll be that. But in the meantime, I was gonna bust my butt. I kind of sat there 10 hours a day for the most part, just doing applications, putting it up on GitHub and stuff like that. And don't worry, it all has a meaning. I'm gonna tie it in, I guess. But so yeah, all of that work and dedication, working on myself, and we talk about it all the time. Like, we didn't know exactly what an Android developer looked like. Like, for the most part, we just knew coding. When you think of coding, for the most part, I think most people think of hackers, stuff like that. And like I said, we had no idea even what that looked like. So we would Google on a regular basis, like, hey, what does a programmer's daily life look like, or what does a programmer's job look like, or what does job descriptions look like, stuff like that. And again, and not having a real example of what it was, that made it hard. And then it adds in a bit of what's called what is it called? There's a term for it. Imposter syndrome. And basically, it's like, you've put this work in, but you haven't had the experience yet. And so once you kind of make it in there, once I got my first job, then it kind of breeds this uneasiness. Like, that you've put the work in, and you're good at what you're trying to do, but it still, I guess, it still breeds some sort of a insecurity in you, I guess. And but going through that hard work and proving all of that to myself, and proving all of the doubters wrong, I guess, and stuff like that, it toughened me up, and also, the in the back of my mind all the time, I feel like, was, what I was doing it for was to be a better man, just in general, to be a better man for my family, my future family, to be the best version of myself, for my future wife, and all of those things. I'm always putting that best foot forward, I guess. And so, with that, through all of that work, there were relationships that didn't exactly work out and stuff, but everything is a growth experience. And so growing and learning and trying to understand, going through therapy, and all of that sort of stuff, I feel like I have finally kind of broken through and, kind of really gotten to a point, really gotten to this point where I feel like I'm successful. I no longer really have that anxiety from this imposter syndrome or the survivor's guilt of being kind of the only one to not the only one, but when you make it out of a tough situation, you kind of feel bad because everyone else didn't necessarily put in the work or make it as far as you did. So there's a lot of these things, I think, that we kind of deal with in the black community, and just, from a black man standpoint. So going through all of that, then it's like, so those expectations, right? Those are the expectations of being a man. You always hear, women don't want no scrub. You got to be on your shit. You can't be at home with your mom. You got to have a car. You got to, have a career. You got to have a purpose, and all of that sort of stuff. And so you're working towards that and you're building it. And you're also expecting that, the women that are, going to be suitable for you are also doing this work on themselves, I guess. And and you can't know that, because a lot of times your head's down, When I was at my mom's house and I was sleeping on the couch and I was working on my programming, and at that, in that moment when I didn't have it yet and I didn't have anything to stand on, but, I think of it now as like false bravado, right? Where it's like, as a man, like you have to go out into the world with confidence, and you have to go out with bravado. And until it's justified, it is just that, is bravado. And we always talk down, I think, about people that fake it till they make it, but we don't understand that some of the most successful people are faking it until they make it. And you might not know that they're faking it, but they are. And they just look like they got it, for the most part, until they got it. And then you don't know the difference anyway. So once I kind of broke through and I saw that there was a lot of other people that had this performance anxiety, and they kind of had this imposter syndrome thing going on, even to the CEOs that I seen. Some of the CEOs, they even deal with this stuff, and having deep conversations with them, and them not knowing if certain deals are going to go through. And sometimes we're in what's called KTLO, keep the lights on mode, and you literally trying to keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying? So once I saw that on an executive level, it changed my mind and my viewpoint about what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, you kind of get to that point where now you feel like you've broken through, and like I feel like I have so much to offer and so much to teach and bring to the table, and again, I've kind of been under the expectation that my female counterparts were doing the same. And unfortunately, what I've been running into is that a lot of the women that I've been dealing with have not been doing that work. It's like until I don't fault them for it, because I was at that point, obviously, and I met some women that leveled me up. I'm not even gonna lie. It made me realize things about myself, and made me take a hard look at myself and challenge myself to be a better version. And those situations didn't necessarily work out the way I would have liked, but at least from that, I took things and lessons in how to be better, how to move, how to operate, in a better way that will allow me to be the best version of myself for my future wife, and the best, father for my future children. So again, that's my mindset all the time of everything that I'm doing, all the work that I'm doing on myself is for that. I mean, it's for me, obviously, but in that it's beneficial, for my future in general. So it's been a bit disheartening, I guess, to see some of my female counterparts, and not even, some people have said, oh man, it's the women that you're messing with, right? Oh, this is not. I've messed with some doctors and some lawyers, some high class women. I've messed, try to have a variety, and it's not just like, running through women and nothing like that, but, talking to women. I'm very skilled, I think, at having conversations with people, asking really good questions and really getting to understand, what a person is about and stuff like that. So, that's really served me well. And just, being able to open up to women and talk to them and have them open up to me, I've seen and seen a lot of patterns and understood a lot of things, I think, about some of our interactions with each other and some of the things I think that come into play with myself personally, with us in general as men, I think, and in that regard. And that's, pretty much the in a nutshell, the reason why I wanted to start the podcast. For the most part, I think, what I've heard from my therapist is that expectations are the number one killer of relationships, any relationship, whether that be a relationship with you and your friends, or a relationship with you and your woman, anything like that. The expectations that you put on that other person, and the expectations that they place on you, and whether or not you express those expectations clearly in a way that's able to be received, and if you're able to receive those things in a receptive way and not be defensive and stuff like that. And it's hard to look at yourself in the mirror and do that work on yourself, because it's a constant thing that you have to do, and then there's a balance that you have to walk between trying to challenge another person's insecurities and their conceptions about, or I guess their general conceptions about who they are and how they should move and stuff like that. So when that's the case, it's not always easy to be the one to bring that to someone's attention, and again, tying it to, I think, why I wanted to have a running theme, I think, of why I wanted to start this podcast, but also in that, different people, I think, take different information, different ways from different sources. And so, how someone else on here might be giving it to you, what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I might be able to analyze things in a way that might resonate with a certain group of people, maybe that haven't been able to be receptive to this message, in the way that someone else maybe might be giving it. So yeah, I mean, I really want to touch on a lot of things. I plan on having a lot of fun. I plan on laughing, cracking jokes, analyzing videos, and just coming at things, I think, from an unbiased perspective. I'm not like a MGTOW, red pill, well, not necessarily red pill, but like, super MGTOW, hate women sort of thing, you know what I'm saying? But, I'm conscious of stuff, and I'm a little bit older, I think, so, that kind of plays into it as well. I got to get this lighting straight. See, this lighting is all messed up. I don't know if that's better, but yeah, man, I want to get into a lot of stuff, have a lot of conversations, hopefully build a community, at some point, and yeah, just have things kind of grow, man. I think that'll be really dope. And like I said, for me personally, it's no real personal gain for the most part that I'm shooting for from this, man. Like, I just am kind of tired, to be honest, of sitting in the crib, just thinking about these things and analyzing this stuff for myself. A lot of my friends are, in relationships, I feel like that could be better, and a lot of times, you're not able, again, to have certain conversations, with people that are that close to you, so maybe in some way, by starting this conversation, maybe it kind of can ease some of that and kind of help come at it from a different perspective, I think. But yeah, so that's pretty much my little introduction. What I pretty much wanted to say, and it's really a test. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up off of here and rewatch this, and then try to, I don't know, maybe record another video, see how I go. All right. Peace.